I've touched on this concept of desire in previous videos, but what do I mean when I say that? Well, desire is actually a very important component in this work, okay? Anytime that you want to do something, no matter what, I mean, in these videos, we're talking about growing in love and building a relationship with the Creator, okay? But, you know, pick your thing. Let's say, you know, you want to learn how to, I don't know, build your own gun, for example, okay? You would still need to engage your desire to do that. So what is the desire and how does one engage it? Well, let's talk about it. Desire is a soul-based mechanism always in operation. It is automatic. It's always happening, okay? As we've talked about in previous episodes, when talking about the law of attraction, your soul is always bringing things to you, okay? Well, one aspect of what the soul is bringing to you is events in order for you to get to feel out your suppressed emotions, to remove your emotional errors from the Creator's perspective, okay? However, our desire is different. It's a different component of our soul, okay? And it is attracting as well, okay? However, if we've got tons of errors over top of it, its attraction is being filtered through all of the error, okay? Desire is affected by our suppressed energy in motion. Energy in motion, of course, means emotion, right? We're always moving. Body's always moving. Spirit's always moving. Soul's always moving. Okay? Makes sense. We are energy in motion. We are emotion. Okay? So this gets back to what I just said about the errors, right? So let's say, for example, that you want to build a gun, okay? Well, first you need to learn about, what materials guns are made out of and what do they do? And what are the different functions and how do they achieve these functions, okay? What are our limiting factors? What resources, what materials do we have to work with, okay? It's by, your desire will be hindered based upon your suppressed emotions and you will know that based upon what is available to you. Okay? So again, if we're taking responsibility for everything that we attract, then if you feel that you desire something and you don't have it, it's because something's going on within you. Okay? Desire is designed to never be satisfied. It makes sense, right? We humans, we just set ourselves to autopilot and we just keep on going and going and going until we die, right? Or maybe you actually are engaging like a hobby of yours and you have found that it just keeps on going down the rabbit hole. That there is so much information for any one person to learn about any particular topic. And again, it makes sense because if God is infinite and God created this whole place, then God knows everything about everything. And God would like to share His knowledge with you. But we need to recognize that anytime we learn something, we're not learning the totality of that thing. It always goes further deeper. It's the same thing with God's love, okay? If you set your desire to receiving God's love and to building a relationship with the Creator, you will start to learn that the more you uncover, the more your mind is blown about what exists further down the line. Okay? So, if our desire is designed to never be satisfied, then isn't the most loving way to direct that desire in the direction of love? Because that means that love keeps going. Okay? If our desire is never satisfied, and we set our desire to learn about love, we will learn about love, we will experience love, and we will keep on going and learning and experiencing about it. I mean, how cool is that? These little bits of sensation that you may have experienced working through some of your emotions, that's just scratching the surface. Scratching the surface. Okay? Desire is a longing rather than an addiction. Okay? Remember, an addiction is anything that we use, whether it be physical or emotional, to suppress our own fear. We hide from feeling our own fear. We refuse to feel our own fear. And that automatically creates addictions. Okay? This is not... Desire can be laced with addictions. Okay? But it doesn't have to be. How do you know the difference? Longing or yearning, okay? Let's say you have a longing for your soulmate, for your partner, the other half of you. Do I want her here so that she can please me sexually? That's an addiction. Do I want her here so that she can clean my house for me? That's an addiction. Do I want her here so that she can support for me and care for me? Those are addictions, okay? In contrast, longing is like, I desire to love my partner passionately and deeply, as the Creator understands love, okay? She doesn't have to be here. If she's not here and I'm feeling pain over that, that's on me. That's how you know if your desire is set for a loving intention. Because you will have a clarity about it rather than emotional blockages and unknowing. Okay? Same thing if you want to develop a relationship with the Creator. You already don't have one. You're not throwing a temper tantrum because you want to develop a relationship with the Creator. You are engaging your desire to point yourself, your will, at the Creator. We're going to talk about will in a second. And that is a longing rather than an addiction. Okay. Subtle difference. I know that might be a tough one to wrap your mind around just yet, but you start playing around with this, you'll understand the difference between an addiction and a longing. Okay. Finally, our desire is part of our individuality, as God created us to be. Okay? So, like, when you think you're being an individual in the physical world, you're not. Someone's already done it. Someone's already done it worse. Someone's already done it better. If we're in error, it's already happened. To the Creator, it's nothing new. You walking around with a ton of fear, with a ton of anger, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. When you get under all that stuff, that is when your real essence starts to shine through. Okay? And then your individual desire will grow in strength. Okay? Because, if your desire is affected by your suppressed emotions, then guess what that means? You start dealing with your suppressed emotions, your desire increases in strength and intensity. Okay, so to wrap up here, our desire, engaging it, is necessary in growing in love or developing a relationship with the Creator. Okay? Our desire is based in our soul, is part of our soul's normal operating mechanism, and it is always operating, okay, along with the law of attraction. However, our own errors weaken our desire and hinder us from attracting what we actually want in our life. That ultimately defines part of our individuality, okay? It's designed to never be satisfied. So when you set it to something, you will keep learning, keep engaging, keep doing that thing. Now let's say you learn about something and you're like, you know what, I've learned about that for a while, I want to switch my desire to something else. You can do that. You can change your desire, no doubt about it. And you can have multiple desires. You can have desires going in different directions, okay? But when your desires are based in love, it is a longing rather than an addiction. Like, I have a desire to live in paradise. If I go around yelling at everyone for polluting this place, I'm angry at them for not meeting my addiction of living in paradise, you see? But if I really want to live in paradise, I start building it myself. And I talk about it, and I tell people about it, and I share information about it, but I'm not angry about it. It's what I want to do because it's making me happy, you see? Okay, so we will talk more about desire in the future. I just wanted to define what I mean when I say this term, because I'm going to be saying it a lot. And yeah, you know, I mean, again, with everything, recognize that this is, you know, the soul is perhaps the most complex machine, organism, whatever you want to call it, entity that the Creator has ever created, okay? So, like, I'm not going to stand here and say I know anything about everything, right? But the desire is part of our soul, okay? And it's important to recognize that. Like, it is there. It is inside of you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't feel it, that's okay. But we should be paying attention that desire is affected by our suppressed emotions. Okay? All right. Love and peace, friends.